It's becoming methodical. Mm-hmm. It's becoming businesslike.
Yep.
The Knicks and Raptors were tied at the half, and as has been the case throughout much of this early season, the Knicks got it done in the second half. They had a huge third quarter from Josh Hart. They had great performances all up and down the roster, DiVincenzo, and they tied a season high with 30 assists. This was a really impressive win, given the schedule, given Randall's sore knee, et cetera.
Yes, it continues to be for the Knicks, take care of business. Teams with a losing record, they are now 10-0 against those teams. So that right there shows you that they don't take any opponents lightly, and when it comes down to winning time, close the door late, that's what you see them do. This was a bit of a slog, this game. This was not pretty for most of the way, not until at least the Villanova 3 got it going, especially Josh Hart first, and then DiVincenzo in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden you saw the separation between the Knicks and the Raptors. So you have to tip your cap to a team that had every reason to be tired, every reason to look at it as a scheduled loss, and instead fought through this whole thing to the very end and got their 12th win of the season in Game 19.
All right, and it's also their 5th back-to-back of the year. So
and they've won now. They've swept 2 of them in a row now. Keep that in mind. That's not easy to do.
So, again, tied at the half. Josh Hart takes control in the third quarter. Knicks win the third quarter by 13. Hart had a run of 15 straight points, and that was the key sequence of the entire game.
Yeah, we were both looking like, wait, is it Josh Hart again? Josh Hart again. And we're like, did anybody else score yet? No. For the last 3.5 minutes of the quarter, it was the Josh Hart show. And as Donte DiVencenzo told Kenny and Clyde, it was Josh Hart doing Josh Hart things, which is hitting threes, but also hustle plays, constantly in motion. Again, when he talked about wanting to be more involved, Tom Thibodeau said, get involved. You have to keep moving. You don't stand still. Now, the catching threes go down because you're in a rhythm, but this is the kind of stuff that you expect out of Josh Hart, the constant attacking, the aggressiveness, and now he's in rhythm, knocking down a couple of threes. Yeah, look twice. That was 15 consecutive points. It was all him. He broke this game open all by himself.
All right, Alan, Wally Szczerbiak called the game tonight on the MSG Radio Network. Wally, what do you have? Another impressive win for the Knicks.
What do I have? Well, I hope you're getting Alan Hahn to smile back there in the studio, because that was a fun second half to watch. What a clinic put on by the Villanova boys. They were absolutely outstanding. The chemistry on this team is really, really good. That Raptors team, they play hard, but they don't play that smart, and they're not that skilled. And the Knicks have shooters all over the floor. Julius Randle created outstanding offense, read the defense perfectly, and the Knicks played almost as good of a second half as you can play in a back-to-back on the road to get a big-time win.
Yeah, well, it looks like Donte DiVincenzo is starting to find himself, right? A little bit like get comfortable now in his role, in his new team. He's the only new guy, had to figure out how he can fit in, and that shot, he's getting into rhythm. That's 2 games now, back-to-back nights. He combined 11 for 18 from three-point range, and it just feels like when you have that kind of production off the bench, and Josh Hart, well, the Knicks had 52 points off the bench. That was my key, because your second game back-to-back, you need your depth to come through. 52 points off your bench is quite a number, isn't it?
It's outstanding. That's exactly what they needed. You could see in the first quarter, the Knicks starters were struggling a little bit to get themselves into the game. I thought R.J. Barrett had some really key buckets. But Donte DiVincenzo, boy, is he showing some swag out there. On that last 3, I think he turned around a la Steph Curry a little bit, because he knew it was going in. When he catches the ball and releases the ball and you get into that zone as a shooter, it's such a great feeling. I mean, I've been marveling at his form. He has a picture-perfect release, elbow in, rotation absolutely perfect, and now it's no hesitation. And it also helps the fact that he's getting out there on the floor with guys that he's comfortable with playing. He's had a lot of success, as we know, in the past with Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. And now Tom Thibodeau has realized, I got to get him out on the floor with guys that he has great chemistry with. And that unit has been outstanding the last couple games, almost unbeatable when they're out there on the floor together.
Well, another excellent game for Julius Randle. As we mentioned, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. All the more impressive because one of the storylines all day was that he was questionable to play tonight because of a sore knee.
Yeah, and he's going up against, I'm going to nickname him the Wild Thing, man, Pascal Siakam. That guy, the way he plays, holy smokes, he plays hard. He throws his body on the line. He puts the defender's body on the line when he drives into the basket because he's just looking to run into people and get to the free throw line. But Julius Randle matched that effort, matched that intensity, matched that physicality. And in the second half, he said, if you want to bang and you want to play physical, that's right up my alley. And he played a really good second half. He was the key to getting Josh Hart open in that third quarter. I think he had 4 or 5 straight assists straight to Josh Hart to get him some good looks at the basket, and Josh Hart cashed in with some big plays.
Yeah, Randall had 5 assists in that third quarter. All right, Wally, so we get now this game, the back-to-back, out of the way, and next week we know is showcase week now in the NBA. They clear the decks because the teams that advanced in the in-season tournament now play, and the Knicks go to Milwaukee next and play the Bucks. And the way the Knicks are playing right now, the way they're rolling right now, how their depth is really, showing through, how do you like this matchup now with Milwaukee?
It's an exciting matchup. It really is. Milwaukee's getting better, as we know. The Damian Lillard-Antetokounmpo duo is starting to find itself. They win close games. They're really good at home. That team obviously has had a lot of success in the league and may have won a championship a few years back. So this is exactly where you want to see the Knicks are. This is a big barometer game for them. They played really tough against the Bucks, only lost by 5 early on in the season. But I think both of these teams are completely different teams. They're finding themselves. They're getting into that 20, 30, 40th game of the year where you're seeing how good the Knicks and the Bucks really are. So this is going to be a fun matchup. A lot is at stake, obviously, and I can't wait for Tuesday.
So, Wally, they let you out of the country. The key question is, are they going to let you back into the country?
Oh, of course. You guys need me back in the country. Come on, guys.
No,
I'm coming back.
We need you, but I don't know about the people from
the Mounties.
passport control, whether they need you or not.
Mounties are giving him an escort all the way down back here to New York, because certainly need him for next week. It's going to be a lot of fun next week, no doubt.
All right, Wally.
It's good.
Go ahead.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back there. It's been a nice trip up north, get a nice little win, and now let's get back home.
All right, buddy. Have a great trip back. We'll see you next week.
You got it, guys.
All right, so Donte DiVencenzo, we've touched on him. 21 points, all on threes. 7 made threes.
Yeah, and it's the rhythm that we see in the highlights. Like, you see everything is a rhythm shot for him, which tells you that as he got here and he started figuring out, where am I getting my shots in the offense and how do I get ready for it? You see how he just starts to relocate into a passer's lane and just let you know, I'm here if you need me, just right there. Feet set. Look at the bounce, too, when he catches. The shot is in your legs. Trust me, Wally will tell you all about that. You soften up your legs, he always says. Look how soft his legs are there. And he's got the range, he's got the touch, and he's got the rhythm, most importantly. And just look, he's got the space, no hesitation.
Great release, Allen.
Oh, it's just pretty. Like Wally said, a picture-perfect release. And he's on one right now, and he knows it. That's why you don't see him hesitate. When he catches it, he's putting it up. And look at this here. Watch him here when he hits it. Turn to the bench. Woo! Yeah. Looking at the benches. They were probably yelling at him, trying to make him miss. Says, I can't miss. I can close my eyes and still make them.
Villanova connection here.
Yes.
Brunson with 22, DiVencenzo the 21, and Hart with 17. And don't forget, also off the bench, Allen Emmanuel quickly had 10.
Big 10.
So you got tremendous production out of the bench. And again,
52 points off the bench. That's not normal. Like most good benches, and because there are bad teams who have high-scoring benches, mainly because everybody plays, right? But there are good teams when you have a high-scoring bench. You're in the 40s, like low 40s. 52 points off your bench. That's phenomenal. And it's not something that you can say as well, it's a once-in-a-while type of thing. You've got professional scorers on the bench. Again, DiVencenzo was a starter in this league. Josh Hart has started in this league. Emmanuel quickly fancies himself as a starter in this league. So you've got guys that can produce like this on a given night. And in the second game back-to-back, when you're a little tired, road weary, it's exactly what the doctor ordered.